Oh,
You are now listening to a 302 Birds podcast experience, proudly powered by Tick Pick, Cutbet, El Diablo Burritos, Nick's Pizza, and Klondike Kate's on the heart of Main Street.
What's up, 302 Bird fans? If you were looking for Dalton, he is at a Phillies game right now. He's probably really, really drunk. I'm obviously not Dalton. I'm about 6 inches taller than him, and I don't wear glasses, and my jokes are actually funny. So hopefully he might call in later. Who knows? But got a great show tonight. We got pretty much the C- lineup. This is the equivalent like season 9 of The Office when Michael Scott isn't there anymore, and you're kind of just following like the new Jim and the new Dwight. So hopefully it'll be a good one. If anything messes up, you can blame it solely on Jack because he's running all the graphics. And with that, we'll kick it to the rest of the team.
Hi, everybody.
hello,
And
everyone.
on that note, we are going to kick it off to Jax Collins. So, 1 second. Let me remember which button to press. There we go.
What do I want when I'm in the state of Delaware? Of course, El Diablo Burritos. Customer service always is serving your food with a smile on their face, asking how your day is. Their food is phenomenal as well. Their burritos are out of this world, one of the best burritos in town. Their queso is phenomenal. Their burrito bowls are amazing as well. When you're in and around Delaware, stop by your local El Diablo Burritos and tell them that 302 Birds sent you. God bless, go Birds.
Thank you to El Diablo Burritos for that sponsorship. Like I said, if you're in and around Delaware, get your local El Diablo Burritos. They got some good burrito bowls. Tonight's call-in, we have a fan favorite, a 302 Birds favorite, is Jen McGraw. I'll give you a little intro. Jen McGraw wrote us a beautiful, article about 302 Birds. So how you doing tonight, Jen?
Doing well. Thank you so much for having me on. It's been a wonderful day. Like the weather's been great. The Phillies are currently winning. So like you can't ask for more than that. But I'm just happy to be here.
Very good optimism.
You have a question for us, Jen?
Well, I got 2 things for you, and then you can end the question, or 1 thing. So what made you want to write the article about us?
So here I go going into like my little spiel, but as like a sports journalist, I love doing more than just like game stats and like analysis and things like that. I love getting to like connect with the fans, connect with, the city as a whole. Not to like, brag or anything, but I've developed a really good connection with Rodney and Erica McLeod, of course, former Eagle and now in the Browns, and what he's able to still do for the city of Philadelphia. So with all that to say, I love just writing football features and highlighting all the cool things in our community because like our sports community is like the best in the country, and that is what it is. So that's kind of what prompted me to write the article because I know there's such amazing talent, and 302 Birds is definitely one of those that I wanted to highlight. One of the podcasts I wanted to highlight. So yeah.
Awesome, thank you so much for that. And after that, what question do you have for us tonight?
So I've been kind of in a sports gambling, sports betting kind of mood. So my question that I looked up just now on BetMGM, would you guys rather take an Eagles Super Bowl at plus 1,600 odds or a Phillies World Series plus 850?
Probably take the Phillies,
So
personally.
yeah, probably the payout for the Eagles is way greater, but what's more realistic and where you'll make your money is definitely going to be, the Phillies, just how they're playing nowadays. I mean, they have the best record in the National League division, so like that's huge, and they're just playing on all cylinders. So I think a safe bet would be the Phillies, because these Eagles, granted, yes, they got a lot better in the offseason, correct, but we have new personnel, we have new defense coordinator, we have a new offense coordinator, we have these rookies that we need to work in and kind of get their gist and how they play. So I really think where you want to make money and you're going to be positive money is probably Phillies World Series for sure. Josh, you got anything? I know you don't bet.
Yeah, I don't bet, but yeah, I would say so. I would ask to answer the question in like July when we see how like preseason like training's going, see who's like standing out for the Eagles. But yeah, I mean the Phillies are obviously kicking ass right now. It's too early to tell for the Eagles. I think the Eagles have a lot of new people doing newer roles. So with that comes inconsistency, right? So I would say put your money on the people who have been consistent so far.
I agree.
Yeah, I'd have to agree.
Also,
I mean,
yeah.
Go ahead, Josh.
No, I was gonna say, I don't know how betting works. The Phillies would make you more money, though, right? Or no, the Eagles would make you more money.
Yeah, the positive odds and more odds. So you said
Yeah.
1600s.
Less likely.
You're gonna win more money. Like if you put
Yeah.
$10, you're gonna win 160, right? I think that's how it works. All right. I don't think we got anything else unless you want to have any other questions for us.
One final question, which actually is one I came up with earlier, and this was like a last second one. If you could take any current Philadelphia athlete and put him on another current Philadelphia team, if this question's making sense, who would be your pick?
A really good question. Who wants to take it first?
Ash, take
I
it.
need a second. I need a second. That's
So
hard.
I was listening to WIP today, the Jason Kelsey podcast, and they were talking about how, there's NBA players that could play great in the NFL, things like that. But I personally, a current Philadelphia athlete, and put him somewhere else.
Super easy answer.
Where you go? Go ahead, Josh.
Joel Embiid. He's going to be special teams. He's only going to be out there to block field goals on defense.
Okay.
How tall
often?
is he with his hands up?
Like 7'3"
He's going to
or
be
whatever.
out there. He's going to be out there just as many times as our long snapper is.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we've seen it. We've seen it already. AJ Brown on the Phillies. I think it'd be a good bat.
We put Braden Covey on Joel Embiid's shoulders. We're blocking every field goal.
This is true.
True.
This is very true. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's me personally. I would do AJ Brown Phillies.
I was gonna go DeVante Smith Phillies. So yeah.
Yeah, my initial answer was AJ Brown Phillies, but I like the Joel Embiid on the Eagles. I do like the idea of that.
It's like that one movie, Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell, where they get the little Sanching or whatever on a kid's shoulder, heads the ball in. So I can see what you're talking about, Josh, for Embiid and Kelsey.
Yeah.
Well, Jen, appreciate you coming on the show tonight.
Thanks.
Where can we
I'm sorry.
Where can we find you?
Apologies, you cut out both of those times, but I finally understood what you were saying. Love my Wi-Fi. You can find me on Twitter at Jennifer McGraw_. You can also find all of my work on firstandgen.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jen.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Have a great night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh.
Awesome.
Oh.
Awesome. That Jen is an awesome person. It's awesome what she did for us. Really appreciate that. Moving on.
I just want to say, if Tom was on the show, we'd be talking about that question for like 5 more minutes.
Exactly.
It could have been the whole show.
You'd be like, oh, we got this one here, this one there, oh, Dutch. Oh. All right. Just kidding. I love Tom.
So, in Eagles news, the rookies are official. Most of them signed their rookie contracts this week, which is super exciting. So this is the right one. Perfect. What are your guys' thoughts on this?
I mean,
any breakouts?
I'm really excited to see these rookies, what they can do on the field, because I think Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell, I think, are huge pickups that we got in the draft. My thing would be like, where do we see them playing? Because we bolstered the cornerback area, right?
Yep.
Who's going to be starting? I don't know. So I think Cooper DeJean signed a 4-year contract for like $9.8 million, which is huge. And I think he's worth every penny of that. I think he's going to be a versatile player that we haven't had in a while. And I really think it's going to be interesting to see what he can do on the Eagles. Poppy Josh.
Yeah, this is always one of those things that doesn't make any sense why this is such big news, but like it is, because you expect all your rookies to sign contracts, but then there's always that one time like when a rookie holds out, like Bosa did it that one year, and it just becomes like a shit show. So this is like one of those like nice, like it's just like walking into the office. Like you just have to go into the office and just get work started. So it's good. I'm happy. I think they're all gonna like help out the team right away. Like I think Mitchell's gonna play more than Cooper DeJean is right away, to be honest with you. But I think like they're still gonna help out and like do special teams.
Yeah, I obviously everybody's excited about our, first rounders, and but I personally, out of the draft class, am most excited about the running back Will Shipley. I think he shows a lot of promise, and I also spent a summer living in the South, so I watched a lot of Clemson and UGA football. So I did watch him a lot, and I really enjoyed watching him play, and I hope that he can have like that positive impact, because that's also another position where like we have no idea who's going to start. So I'm very curious to see in the next couple of months, as we kind of get closer to the season and once we hit preseason, who really starts to be those standout people that we need. Because as we saw last season, there are a lot more holes. On paper, we looked fantastic. However, in play, there were some issues.
Will Shipley's a beast.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what he can do in the NFL, because I mean, he was in the league or in college for 5 seasons, and he had played great football, but we'll see what he can do. But like Dennis said here, do we think Trotter Jr. is going to be getting the start?
No,
I don't think right now.
You don't think so?
No,
you think?
I think 2 to 3 years from now, yes, but I think he's going to sit back for a little bit. Yeah,
I think what is kind of going to be the difference maker is how they perform in OTAs, in mini camps, in preseason, because Nakobe Dean, we had high hopes for him when we drafted him, and we were really surprised to see how far he dropped. Or is that Nolan Smith? One of those two. But
both, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, exactly. So we saw these two outside linebacker and this middle linebacker that like we thought we had high hopes for, but Nakobe Dean, since he's been in the league, hasn't performed. He's had hasn't played a full game yet. So I know he's plagued with injuries, and maybe that's why his stock dropped. But it just we'll see, how preseason goes, to see who's going to be in that position, because I really think that is our only hole on this defense right now as we speak.
Yep.
So
we're thin.
Speaking of OTAs, there was one person who was noticeably absent from OTAs today, and that was James Bradbury. Do we think he is officially done as an Eagle, or do we think that he's going to stick around for a little bit longer?
I did not know that happened. This is news to me.
Yep. It came out a couple hours ago that he did not show up. Since no called, no showed.
That's interesting. Well, it is optional.
You're right.
Not a great look.
Not a great look. And I mean, I really hope he's done. Because he had, some good seasons with us, but it's just constantly he has a good few games here and there, and then he just kind of falls in the deep end. So I think what? Give me some bounce back, Josh.
No, listen, I really like I like Bradbury.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl killed him. Like, he played really good that Super Bowl season, and then that play happened in the Super Bowl, and then he was horrible last season. Like, literally a changed person. No injuries, no nothing. That's like that drop off doesn't just happen with age or like zone. That's all mental. So I actually like Bradbury, and I think if he can get over that Super Bowl play, which really wasn't his fault, like, it still wasn't a flag in my opinion, I think he'll be a good player. Even with the rookies we bought in the secondary, I hope this guys we drafted are good, but I would still like to have Bradbury on the team. One, because of veteran leadership, and two, our secondary gets hurt all the time, every year. But that's just me.
Yeah, and I don't think necessarily. I think he will likely, if he stays on the team, he likely will end up starting initially to begin the season. But that's not to say that they can't mix things up halfway through if things aren't going well. And I think that's one of the benefits right now of us having so many people on that secondary is that, assuming the majority of them make the 53-man roster, we do have some flexibility in terms of different combinations that we can play with throughout the season and just try to figure out what works. Because as I know talked about last week, especially once we get to the end of that season, it is going to be brutal. Those last couple of games, just, divisional dominoes that could really impact our seeding significantly, assuming we make it to the playoffs, which
I agree. I think you put Bradbury and Slay out on the outside, put Maddox at the nickel, and then when Maddox inevitably hurts himself for the season, you move Bradbury back to nickel and then put Mitchell out in the corner. So I think he's a needed player on the team, in my opinion. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they don't pay.
Yeah,
they don't pay me to make those decisions. So
this is true. I mean, it would be helpful if he decides not to show and not come back, because then all the rookies we've drafted, Philly just hit a home run, by the way. Anyway, sorry.
Let's go.
Got distracted. Harper home run. It was a Harper home run. Let's go. But yeah, I mean, I think that just goes to show like his character. Maybe seeing that we draft these two cornerbacks, and him kind of be on the outs, because Slay's gonna probably be here for another year or two, and then he's kind of out. So I think maybe it's spite, and like you said, it's not optional. Like, you don't have to be there at OTAs, but it's just, to me, goes to show his character is not fully there.
It's a good look to show. It's a good look to show.
Right.
And he didn't show, and he's got two rookies. So, not looking good.
No.
Yeah.
So, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah. And then in some other unexpected Eagles news, DeVante Parker has announced his retirement from the NFL. And he signed with us roughly 2 months ago. So are you guys surprised by this? Not surprised by this? What are you guys feeling?
Definitely surprised.
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
I mean, he's only been in the league 9 seasons. He really, he had a few good seasons, but only one really good season. I don't know. I feel like he had more left than Tank. Don't really know why he retired. I think we're kind of our wide receiver group is not, it's not deep. I mean, obviously you have 2 starters who are really good, Brown and Smith. But then after that, who's going to start that slot? Covey? Covey has like 4 receptions in his entire career. I like Covey. He needs to be on the team as a returner, but we need a third receiver.
I mean, we do have a third receiver, and that is the guy from the Colts.
Paris Campbell.
Yeah, Paris Campbell. I think he's going to be that slot receiver and kind of be that veteran aspect that we need. And then, that rookie we picked up, he was like 6'7". He's a giant. Like, to see kind of him start out the year and then see what happens further in the season, and then go
I
from
think
there.
there's only really one thing to do.
What's that?
We have to re-sign Jordan Matthews.
Isn't he retired?
I don't know. He's also a tight end. That was a joke. We did that like 6 times. It was like,
Step random.
Snips, huh?
But that wouldn't be helpful. Anyway, I think Paris Campbell is going to be that slot receiver, but at the same time, he's been also played with injuries. So if he goes down, that rookie I forget his name that we picked up, I think would be a good fit for him.
What team's Nelson Aguilar on?
He last was on the Ravens.
Yeah,
I believe, yes. I think that's where he is right now. But, yeah.
I think we re-signed Julio.
That was great.
He had 2 touchdowns. He had 2 touchdowns against the Cardinals. Never forget.
I don't know.
But
yeah.
he's also old.
So, it's the slot receiver.
This is true. This is very true. I mean, I wonder why he didn't really come to – this is still about DeVante Parker. He didn't really go out and say why he retired. Like Josh said, it's kind of concerning that, after 9 seasons, he just kind of said, I'll put my cleats up and retire. Maybe it's like – and you hear a lot of these people like in OTAs, they're like, yeah, I'm done. Like, fuck that. Like, I'm done. So I wonder if that's what his mindset was, because – he had a pretty good season when he played for the Dolphins, for the Patriots. Did he ever play for the Raiders? I think he may have, like the year before he came to us.
No, I think he was on the Patriots last year.
Oh. Well, yeah, I'm really curious to see if it's – and at the same time, I think he's, 30 – how old is he, 35, 31?
Something like that.
Oh,
I know he has young kids. Which I'm sure that probably played some. He's 31.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Deshaun Jackson retired? Can we sign him?
He's retired. Yeah, he's officially retired.
Bitch. Run down of people here. Riley Cooper. Got it.
I don't know
what he's been doing.
It'll be interesting. I mean, I'm glad he did it now compared to waiting until right before the season started, or like worse, like the guy who retired, DeVante Davis, who retired at halftime, during game 1 or game 2.
Right.
He died.
So,
he died like a
and then
month.
he died. Yeah, totally unrelated, but yeah. So I'm glad he did that. He retired now compared to waiting, and now we at least have some time to kind of figure out what we're gonna do. But it was definitely surprising. So
no, that's a really good point, Ash.
Yeah.
That like at least helped out the team.
Yeah. So we are going to move on to, we brought in some special guests for this one. Let me make sure I get their intro all nice and ready here. Here we go. Hope this works.
Time for Phillies talk with Ballpark Tommy. Finger stitch.
Okay. So, because Tommy is not here, we decided to do
Tommy, though.
fun combo with the Phillies, the 302 Birds Phillies post-game show gang as well. So welcome, guys, to the other side of things. And thank you guys for holding it down in the post-game shows, because some of those are at like midnight, and I am in bed at midnight. So appreciate you guys doing
Yep, and that's what we're going back into this weekend, too.
Yeah, lots of late games this weekend. I was doing the schedule for this week, and I was like, my golly, there's a lot of late games. So talking this week.
You're lucky the game just ended, and they just got a series win against the Rangers, but apparently we don't play anybody good, so.
Yep.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Brendan and Eric, how are we feeling about these Phils and how they're doing this year?
Brendan, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
No, yeah, go for it. You go for it this time.
Dude, I mean, they're absolutely on fucking fire. And me and Brendan talk about this almost every night. We beat a dead horse, it seems like. But it just seems like they're on fire right now. My confidence is through the fucking roof with this team. And I think, honestly, we're going all the fucking way. If we don't, it's going to be a letdown because they're absolutely on fire right now. I mean, again, apparently we don't play anyone good, but we just got a series win against the Rangers, which, for those of you that didn't know, we haven't beat the Rangers since 2014. It's been 10 years since we've beaten the Rangers. Last night was our first win in 10 years. So, I mean, like, if that doesn't tell you the vibes for this season, then I don't know what does.
Brendan?
Yeah. I am absolutely over the moon with this team right now. Me and, like Eric was just saying, we've beaten this into the ground where this team is, where they're going, where they could go, the whole nine with it. I think the biggest thing with us and what we like to, argue or bicker back with is the Phillies don't play anybody. And looking at it, if you take the same teams that the Braves play and the Phillies play, Phillies are 12-2 against those teams, and the Braves are 9-8. So, like, just break it down, have a little bit of smarts with it. The Phillies have all of my emotions in it this year, and I'm all in with this team.
I mean, again, RBI, boom, RBI. He had a few RBIs today. How we liking his play?
Dude, it's insane.
Boomer. Yeah.
And to have a guy that's homegrown like him, have another guy like Stott who's homegrown, Suarez homegrown, it gives you a little bit more of like a oomph on it, I guess, and just a little bit more of just, we didn't sign a guy for $300 million. This is a guy that came up through the farm system.
Right. And it's just like, it just seems to me that, the daycare is again, firing all cylinders. This Phillies team is playing phenomenal baseball. We saw Suarez get his 10th win, right? As he surpassed whose ninth win. What record did who you surpass? Anyway, he's playing well. Taijuan Walker, I'm still kind of up in the air about because he's had some hot games where he pitches great, and then the first couple innings he put up 2 or 3 home runs. So
the thing with
go ahead.
The thing with Walker is that Walker absolutely sucks, and he's terrible. But it seems like every night that Walker pitches, the only reason that he gets wins is because he gets the run support behind him. I mean, look at tonight. You had 4 home runs tonight from Bryce, JT, Sosa, and I think I'm missing one. I feel like it was 3 or 4, but I mean, like, they're firing on all cylinders when he pitches. So, like, he does terrible, but then it's like, okay, well, the offense is supporting him. So he can't make a case to get sent down or sent back to the bullpen when, you're getting the run support.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and I even think about this, like comparing this to like the Eagles last season, right? On paper, we were 10-1, but were we really 10-1? It was just because of a couple key moments that we were winning those games, right? And Walker, I feel like, is very much the same way. And I'm just grateful that he doesn't pitch a whole heck of a lot. And again, the rest of the team on offense is really pulling it out when they need to, for sure, because it's been today was a little bit the first part of that game.
Are they peaking too early?
What?
I don't know enough about baseball. Are they peaking too early?
I don't really think with baseball you can peak per se. It's kind of so the thing with baseball compared to football is with baseball you get hot, then you get cold, then you get hot again, then you can get cold. So there's really no peaking in baseball. It's kind of just if you're hot, you're hot. If you're cold, you're cold.
Yeah, and just jumping off what Eric said, this team wins on the road. The run differential's top 2 in the league right now. ERA's top 2 or 3 in the league right now. You play these shitty teams, yeah, that's great. But you can't be a 105, 110 win team if you don't beat these teams now. So I don't see them being, on a hot streak now and then come July, August, September, them go cold. just watching the emotion with these guys is insane, and I don't see that going anywhere anytime soon right now.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't even made it to June yet, and we all know Wawa's favorite employee goes hot. So,
Yep.
Schwarber.
Almost
Speaking
there.
about emotion, speaking about emotions, how do you guys like the promposal that we saw with Bryce Harper?
I think
And
it's
how-
so fun.
Well, I was listening to WIP today, and they were giving the kid a lot of shit because it's like, you got to shoot your shot. You got to shoot your shot, your own shot. You can't rely on Bryce Harper to get a prom date. So they gave him a lot of shit, just kind of joking around. But, you know, it goes to show that Bryce Harper would do anything for his fan base. I know there's been a lot of instances where, like, small things, like he's not throwing the ball over the fence after an inning, or he's not rushing out to the plate when he, you know, goes to base. So they were saying, like, should we be concerned about the drive and the emotions with Bryce Harper?
my only thing with Bryce Harper that I'm concerned about, and again, I say this all the time on the post-game show for anybody that's interested in watching, Brendan and I pull up the MLB game day, like the live pitches, where you can see what he's swinging at. He's just swinging at shit that's in the dirt, and that's what concerns me. He's trying too hard to get these big plays because I feel like he wants that MVP season again, which is great for him. And I mean, tonight he had a home run. That's great. He had a late home run. Didn't feel like it was really needed in that game to win it. Power of prom, dude. I mean, like, he went to that promposal. He went off tonight and last night. But again, I just think that the only thing that concerns me about Bryce right now is just the things that he's swinging at.
Yeah, and I think the only thing that concerns me on top of that, and this is like much more like long-term down the road sort of thing, but these balls that he's swinging at in the dirt or the other batter's box, it looks like he's going to break his back at any point in time when he's swinging. Like, these are such violent swings. So that's more like a long-term down the road thing. But right now, I think if it isn't Liam Castellanos being the mayor of the city, it should be Bryce Harper. But yeah, that's about it.
That
Speaking of the city, we got somebody coming from the city. What's up, Dalt? How you doing, bud?
Hey guys,
Hello.
I finally caved and I invested in the City Connect. My dad got me this hat. Shout out to Don. But I finally invested in the City Connect. The hat is cool. I've said it from the start. I couldn't get the jersey, but hey, what a game. A heck of a good time tonight coming back from Philadelphia. And Phillies really get the job done. I also want to give a quick shout out to M&T Bank in Delaware for hooking us up tonight with some amazing seats. I mean, the food was the works, guys. I had everything tonight, from a primo hoagie, a turkey and cheese, which my boy Jack knows is my go-to, to Shake Shack burger, a little bit of mango and mango pizza, a Cobb salad. You know, try to keep it light, try to keep it lean, try to keep it healthy. But while I'm in here for a second, I did want to talk with Ashley real quick about this Bryce Harper promposal. If we could bring that up real quick again. Because Ashley said something like, and it was cracking me up, our text message saying, hey, he better never break up with this girl after that. And I said, Ashley, what? She better never break up with him after this. Because how the heck did this kid get Bryce Harper to do a promposal? I don't know how. I don't know if it came from a DM.
It was at the bowling event on Monday.
Oh, it came from the bowling event?
Yeah, because Nola, he does like a yearly event for I think it's for like military families. So he did like a bowling event for military families, and the kid was there, and so he went up to Bryce and he said, hey, I gotta go ask my girlfriend to prom. Can you, like, I'm gonna drive to her house. Can you follow me behind me in the truck? So this kid, I listened to the story. This kid was like speeding down the road, and Bryce was right behind him, and they were going to the house. I mean, I think the funniest thing was the dad coming out at the end of the video.
Hi,
and
sir.
Had to make his presence known. If that was my kid, I would have to do the same thing.
Right.
Can I say
Bryce Harper, dude.
I'm going to say an unpopular opinion. That kid got cooked, all right, in the nicest way possible. He could have asked that girl to fly to Ukraine with him, and she would have said yes because Bryce Harper was right there, and that's all she cared about. I mean,
Yeah.
she
I'd
doesn't,
hug Bryce Harper too if he was in front of me first.
she doesn't hug him until like 25 seconds into the video.
She's in
I mean-
shock. Bryce Harper was just at her
Saying.
front door. She's probably seen that kid every day at school since they
That's
were
what
little
I'm
kids,
saying.
probably.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
So you're saying that he should shoot his own shot and not rely on Bryce Harper to go. ask
No,
somebody to
listen, I
come?
don't want to sound like WIP. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, that kid inadvertently cucked himself with Bryce Harper. That's it.
Leave it to Zeppelin. Leave it to Zeppelin.
I mean, that
Well,
is
you're
a
not
true-
wrong. You're not
Yeah,
wrong.
that's true.
Yeah, but like at the same time, I mean, like I said, that girl can never like break up with that kid now because he got Bryce Harper to ask her to the prom. Hey, Shard, real quick, isn't Ryan still in high school? Can we like try to like piggyback off of this next year or something?
So yeah, so he'll be a senior. He'll be a senior next year. I was already talking to him earlier because he came over to help me work on my car, and I was like, hey bud. So for those of you who don't know who Ryan is, Ryan's my younger brother. He's in here sometimes. But I asked him earlier. I said, hey, we gotta like one up this kid next year. I said you gotta get like the whole team to just hold signs whenever you decide to get a girlfriend. Kid is awkward as fuck, so he'll probably never get a girlfriend. But
We'll figure it out.
but I told him, I said, you gotta like you gotta do it.
I love that. So, all right, I was talking to Josh about this today, watching the game. So the Phillies are really hot right now. The players that we've fit in, Sosa, Clemens, Rojas kind of fills in. Who, when it comes July, who are we sending down to the minor leagues? I don't know who, because everyone's fitting in when they're needed. When their number's called on, they are performing very well. So I have no idea what we are to do or who we should put down. What do you guys think?
So Brendan and I had this conversation again on the post-game show the other night. And I think we both came to the agreement, Brendan. This is a good problem to have. Like, I don't know about you guys, but this is like the best problem that you can have with this team because you have so many guys that are versatile to this team and so good. But Brendan, you want to take over?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with this is it's been a very long time since this team has been this full and has the roster so deep, right? If it wasn't for the roster that they had, I'm sure Cody Clemens would have made the roster back in early March or late March going into April. My opinion with it, and that doesn't mean absolutely anything, would be for possibly setting a bullpen arm down because Sosa you don't want to send down, you don't want to send Clemens down. Pache doesn't have any options, and you don't want to put a guy like Whit Merrifield, who's $8 million going down to the minors. So it's hard. I think this is probably one of the shittiest call downs or push downs or call ups, whatever you want to call it, that the Phillies have had in probably a long time. But yeah, I definitely think it either should be a bullpen, which probably won't ever happen, or unfortunately it's going to have to be Cody Clemens because you don't want to lose the option on Pache, and I don't think you're going to waste the $8 million for a guy like Merrifield who can play infield and outfield.
I agree. I mean, I think honestly it should be Pache or something, but we'll see. It'll probably be Cody.
I think it's going to be Clemens. Yeah, I think Cody's going to get sent down. I don't want that to happen, but I think that's
what's nice about him though. Sorry, Ash, but what's nice about him though is every time he goes down and he comes back, it seems like he's going straight back into the stride that he was in beforehand. So maybe it's the best option you can go for at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, again, the Phillies are really hot right now without Trey Turner. Like, that just blows my mind. Trey Turner was hitting 324 before his injury, and now you think that would be like a step down, but like ever since he's been injured, it's just the Phillies are just firing all cylinders. So, granted, we signed him as a shortstop, but Stott's playing great at shortstop. Clemens is like, I don't know, that begs the question, like, what do we do with Trey Turner? I mean, obviously we're going to keep him on the roster, but like, it just blows my mind that such a good player like him, when he's not there, is just we can fill in awesomely.
I also think it helps that we were relatively hot before he left too, because there have been times where like injuries, if we're already going downhill, there's no bouncing back once, when that star person gets injured. But we're really in a good rhythm, and like there were good vibes at that point. So it was, I don't want to say it was easier, but it was easier when he left, because we could figure out, we had a little bit of give within the division to play with, in terms of, okay, we can afford to lose a game or two as we're trying to figure this out. When there are times, especially if he would have gotten hurt, let's say in August or September, we would have been in a very, very different situation. We definitely probably would not have had those games to play with.
I almost bought the shirt tonight going off of that said, stay loose, stay sexy. So when you have like nothing to lose and your team is playing loose, and you have, like that couple of game cushion, like Ashley said, where everybody's not feeling as overwhelmed, old momentum's going your way. I definitely agree with that. And just answering this question real quick, it better be Pache. It better be. If it ain't Clemens, I'm going to be very upset. I don't know how you don't keep Clemens on this team after everything that he's done. I just don't know. So I'd be very disappointed if Clemens went down, in my opinion.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I mean, Castellanos is stepping up to the plate now. So we're worried about that. But, I mean, the past couple games he's been hitting the ball. He had a few shots today. So, I mean, everyone is firing on all cylinders, which is good to hear and to see.
Yeah,
man.
Well, anyway, the last thing we have to talk to you on tonight about is trivia.
sounds good.
Bring
But
up my-
first, to the Phillies post-game people, thank you guys so much for coming. And if you guys were joining us live, thanks for coming and hanging out with the rest of the 302 Birds gang. And we will have the rest of you on, I'm sure, very soon. So no Phillies post-game tonight, but you guys are back in action tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Tomorrow's game is at 105. Phillies taking on the Rangers for the sweep. They do get the series win tonight. Haven't lost a series since mid-April, so it's been a month of straight series wins or ties. So post-game show tomorrow will probably be about like 5:30. I probably won't be on because my kid has baseball tomorrow, so Brendan or Dalt will be on. But yeah,
Sounds good.
Thanks, guys.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
boys.
guys again.
See ya.
I love those guys. Those guys are working their ass off on the Phillies postgame show. I just want to emphasize that. So if you guys haven't tuned in, really tune in. It's a really great experience. And if you're a diehard Phillies fan, like Ballpark Tommy, there's not a better place to get your postgame news, in my opinion. I really love listening to the two of them. And then when you sometimes get Ashley and Tom in the mix too, talking about Dino Nuggets, and shout out to Sean as well. There's a lot of people that are joining. It's a good postgame.
Dalton, whose car are you in?
I'm with my dad right now. We're coming back. So if you want to say a quick hello to Don and Laurie, I'm sure that they would love to be on the podcast.
So, no, I was going to say put a light on. I feel like I'm in the Blair Witch Project.
You want some music on or something?
No, we just can't see your face. All we see is the reflection on your glasses and your white teeth.
Because I'm trying to give you guys my brightness is all the way up. I'm probably at 2%. So if I die suddenly and pop out, you guys know why. Just saying.
So it won't be a car accident. It's where your phone's dead.
Emphasize that.
Anyway.
All right.
Let's know the trivia so I can get my points and get out of here.
All right. Tonight's
go.
trivia.
Time for everybody's favorite part of the show, 302 Trivia, with your host, Jack Dorden, the mayor of Delaware.
Just try 'em on that
Thank you. Thank you to Tick Pick for that sponsorship. Like I said, it's Philly season. Buy your ticket through Tick Pick. No fees at all. Tonight's question we have for you, unless Ashley, do you have the leaderboard that you can pull up?
I do not, but I can tell you scores in just a second. Why don't you read the question, and then I will read off scores in just a second.
Sounds Gucci. All right. Tonight's question we have for you is, How many All-Star games have been hosted by the Philadelphia Phillies? How many All-Star games have been hosted by the Philadelphia Phillies, either in Veterans Stadium or CBP? A, 2 All-Star games, B, 5 All-Star games, C, 3 All-Star games, or D, 4 All-Star games.
Why did we not go in chronological order there?
Because I knew it would piss you off. That's why.
Like, why wasn't B 3?
Because that's just easy.
That was your
Yeah,
decision.
Josh,
Okay.
suck it.
I mean,
So currently, Fans have 5 points. Nat has 4 points. Tom has 7 points. Dalt has 4 points. I am in the lead with 9 points. Sean has 1 point, and Decker has 3 points.
All right,
Josh,
Decker. I've texted him 3 times and haven't heard from him. Decker, if you're watching this, I missed you and I love you. Baby, come back.
dude, he was probably in the car in front of you. You guys probably hidden random, and you didn't.
It's probably
didn't even tell.
graduating.
So we'll give you the answer right now. You heard a leaderboard.
C,
Josh,
number 3.
Okay, and then Dalt, what's your guess?
So I put mine in the chat. Mine was C.
He said C.
Okay. Tonight's answer, and Ashley said, I think you said 3 as well.
I said A.
You said
Whatever
A.
A was.
A was 2.
So tonight's answer for you is C, 3.
Let's
Got it.
go. I'm
Okay.
on the board.
Lovely. Okay, so then Josh.
I don't like the
And
angle.
his phone just died, I assume. So
Yeah.
I texted him that.
What an idiot.
All right. Well, that is our show. We are a land of misfits. Ashley,
good
you
show.
are the MVP. Appreciate you doing everything behind the scenes. We tried. We tried to get all the graphics and
All the
everything
graphics went
squared.
up. Was it how I planned on it? No, but they all went up. So
Hey,
I think it
that's
went
all
really
that
well.
matters. Well, do you guys have anything else to say?
no.
Josh?
No, nothing. I know I hate
Leads
you
it-
for this.
Leads it to me, guys. I can't really. It sucks now. Hey, Josh, it's an outro, not an intro. Hit that motherfucking outro.